Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner.
Hi, folks. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. I've had a few requests, and I thought it was a good idea. I put a lot of memes out, about 8 a day, on my community page. So those of you that haven't seen any of them, please go over to my community posts and check out my memes there. It's the new way of fighting back against your social and political adversaries. I won't say enemies, even though a lot of them are. Your adversaries that are trying to pull this country down. And memes seems to be, since social media became in existence as the growth of the internet, as a way for conservative-minded people to fight back. And the one thing that progressives and leftists are really suck at is doing memes. So this is one of the very few mediums that conservative people, I think, have an advantage. Now, that being said, we're going to go over a couple of memes here. I'm going to go over two. And when people read these memes, they interpret what they want, or depending on how good the meme is, it makes a really good point. And this meme is Donald Trump was indicted before anyone on Jeffrey Epstein's client list. Let that sink in. Think about that for a minute. What was her name? Maxwell? That was Epstein's partner / girlfriend, whatever she was convicted of sex trafficking. I think it was underage girls, kidnapping, a whole list of other stuff. And she was convicted. At a trial, jury, conviction. Who did she sex traffic these people to? And the answer is nobody. It's like your local district attorney or county attorney will arrest a known drug dealer. Now, of the really big drug dealers in the country or in an area or in a state, law enforcement knows who they are. They just have to catch them. But all they have to do then is just arrest them, put them on trial for drug dealing. Well, who did you sell drugs to? Nobody. But we know he's guilty. We know he did it, so the jury's going to convict him. That's absurd. I'm not saying that Jeffrey Epstein is some saint. The guy's a freaking monster, and so was his girlfriend, but that's not the point. The point was, why has nobody been arrested that's on Epstein's client list, or at least thoroughly investigated for real crimes? That's a damn good question. It's an excellent question. You can't convict someone of anything unless you have evidence they committed a crime. Unless you have the person that the crime was committed to or through or from, whether it be fraud, assault, all kinds of other stuff. Plain old murder. The list is endless what things people can do to each other. But you've got to have some evidence, and you've got to have a victim. Where's the victim? Where's the person she was the go-between between an underage girl, in this case, which Epstein's girlfriend, and another person. Who is that person? So they got Donald Trump indicted before any of the Jeffrey Epstein client list. And I want you to think about one other thing. Remember all the leaked footage when they raided Mar-a-Lago? Remember? They laid out all the documents on the floor, and some were marked classified, and all the things that leaked out from that. I want you Democrats out there to think of this for a moment. Put your hatred aside for Donald Trump and think about this. How much either documentation or video footage was leaked when they raided Jeffrey Epstein's island? When the FBI and the authorities finally got there, how much of it was leaked out? And the answer is zero. Democrats, who are you really, really helping and propping up? Think about that for a moment. Now let's go to the next meme. This is a topic, of course, that's a hot button issue. People going with weapons into department stores and schools and all kinds of places, churches, and doing just horrific things with guns. Just horrific. Frankly, I think these people, if they don't end up being killed at the end, frankly, should face the death penalty. Period. End of story. Now, look at the picture. Which school do you think is safer? Honestly and truly, unless you're a brainwashed progressive cult member, we can't get through to those people. And that's about 20, 30%. The other 70% of us, even people who are Democrats that don't like Republicans and hate Trump and all that, they're not brainwashed cult members yet. And you had a chance, there was 2 schools in a new town that your family moved into, and one school had the sign on the left that says weapon-free school zone, which really means, in a tiny print, people here are helpless to anyone that has a weapon. It's a weapon-free school zone for legal weapons, but not a weapons-free school zone for illegal weapons or breaking this rule. Or the school next to it, same level of education, same kinds of buildings and recreational activities, and this sign says staff members are armed and trained. Any attempt to harm children will be met by deadly force. Honestly and truly, look in the mirror and think of your children when you go to enroll them in one of these schools. Which one would you pick? Let's tell the truth. My guess, 70 to 75% plus of the parents would say, I don't like it. I think it sucks. I think our society sucks. We should have gun control, but I'm going to go to the school on the right where their children are protected way better than the other. And that's what these memes do. They help people think. They help people think. These mass shootings are horrific. Horrific. The social decay, the mental health issues that we have in this country are going up exponentially. You know, it's funny. When I say funny, I don't mean humorous. I mean funny as an odd. When someone goes into a school or a church and does something horrendous like this, it's always the gun's fault. Isn't that interesting? When somebody is arrested for DWI and kills someone and has a second-degree murder charge hanging over their head, or manslaughter 1, I'm not a lawyer, but I think that's what they usually give them, it's the driver was at fault and not the car. Isn't that interesting? When a drunk kills somebody with a car, it's his fault or her fault, the driver's fault. But when somebody goes into a school, a church, or other public place and does horrendous things with weapons to people, it's the gun's fault. And then depending on which side of the political spectrum they find out that the shooter had, they don't even talk about the shooter at all. It's the guns. But a DWI driver killing somebody, it's not the car, it's the driver. Think about that, Democrats out there. Think about how your logic contradicts itself. But anyway, folks, people wanted me to talk about a couple of the memes, so here's a couple that I picked out. Let me know what you think in the comments. You let me know if you'd like to see more of these. I think they're very useful. And memes are the new way to express political and social views and opinions and try to sway public opinion as well. So there you have it, folks. My first meme, we'll say rant or explanation or talk or whatever you want to call it. Maybe I'll call this a regular feature. Meme, I don't know, you think of a name. What's a good name for a series based on talking about memes like this? Let me know in the comments. And as always, until next time, goodbye and good luck.